Garden and Down in the Dirt by Kate Messner with art by Christopher Silas Neal. And it's such a good book. We talked a lot as we went through, or I talked a lot as we went through the pages. And we got to the middle of the book and we had talked and read for 15 minutes. So I decided to pause and put in a sticky note and finish today. So here we go. Up in the garden, there's so much to eat. Ladybugs feast on aphids. Nana crunches green beans. I bite a ripe tomato, warm from the sun. Juice dribbles down my chin. Remember, this is where we ended yesterday. I wonder if you've ever grown a garden and gone out into the garden and picked a vegetable or a fruit and eaten it right off the vine. There's something pretty special about being able to do that. There's nothing like a ripe tomato off of your own tomato plant. Down in the dirt, a robin's beak finds a cricket, a beetle, a grub. Slugs are scrumptious too. Would you eat those things? No, those are food for animals. Look at that. That is like a very magnified picture of what the grass might look like. Do you see all the different little creatures? I see a cricket. Kind of looks like a teeny tiny grasshopper. Do you see it right over here? And I see a snail. I'm not sure if a bird would eat a snail. And way on the other side, I see another bug. Almost looks like a slug. Or maybe, no, it's not a slug because look, it has little feet. I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. There's lots to see under the ground or under the grass. Up in the garden, we pick cukes and zucchini, harvesting into the dark. Bats swoop through the sunflowers, and I pluck June bugs from the basil until it is time for bed. Ooh, look at this beautiful illustration. Some really pretty flowers. I have friends in my class who like to draw flowers. I have a feeling one of those friends is probably watching right now. And let's see. Do you see the bats? Have you ever gone outside in the spring or in the summer and seen the bats flying up in the air? Bats like to eat mosquitoes, so it's good to have bats around. But you don't want to have a bat in your house. It's not a good thing. We want them to stay outside, right? Down in the dirt, skunks work the night shift. They snuffle and dig and gobble cutworms while I sleep. What is it called when an animal is an animal that does all of their work during the nighttime? Does anybody remember what that kind of animal is called? Begins with a Sorry for the glare on this, guys. I'm having a hard time with my camera on my Chromebook. Is that a little bit better? It's a little bit better. You can see the picture. You're right, it's nocturnal. Animals that do their work and are up during the night are called nocturnal. Skunks are nocturnal. Can you think of any other animals that are nocturnal? Oh, here comes Flicka. Flicka's coming to say hello. And Nina too. Say hi to the kids.
Goodbye.
Bye, Flicka. Up in the garden, a praying mantis wakes to hunt mosquitoes. Nana sprays away the aphids. And I'm after grasshoppers. ready to swoosh. But, ooh, look at this. So here we can look. Let's look at this page first. I'm going to fold my book in half. That's not a very nice way to treat my book, but I think it'll be easier for us to see. Here you can see Nana spraying, getting the little aphids away. Aphids, I think, are a problem for our plants. You don't want to have aphids on your tomato plants. And there's a little girl. She's trying to find the grasshoppers. Can you see the grasshoppers in the grass? And then, if we turn around the book, what other little animals do you see? I see a praying mantis. Do you see it in the middle? I see, I'm not sure if those are spiders. Do you think they're spiders? I see a ladybug.
What is your issue?
I hear Flicka making noises. Let's see. Snap! Someone else is faster. Down in the dirt, a smooth, shining gardener snake crunches on supper. Ooh. Have you ever been lucky enough to find a snake in your yard? Look at that. That snake is going to eat a grasshopper. Up in the garden, the wind grows cool. Pumpkins blush orange, and sunflowers bow to September. Nana ties them together to build a house for reading. Oh, that sounds like fun. So it sounds like our story is shifting from the season of summer to the season of autumn, because autumn is when we see pumpkins ripen, right? Down in the dirt, an orb weaver spins her web. Ooh, what do you think? What creature is spinning a web? You're right. It's a spider, just like Charlotte. So she spins her web strand by silken strand, and she'll munch on moths in the moonlight. Look at that. Right? Wow. And here is the web. Can you see it? Oh my goodness, I'm having a terrible time with the camera today. Sorry guys, look at that. Have you ever seen a spider's web early in the morning when it's still glistening from the dew? They're beautiful. Up in the garden, colored leaves litter the squash vines, and we know the cold is coming. Hurry, hurry and harvest. There's enough for the neighbors too. Down in the dirt, frantic ants gather what we leave behind. They are storing food for cooler days ahead. Here's the harvest in the fall. What season comes next? Do you remember? We just finished. We just moved out of winter, and in our story, they're going to be moving into winter. It sure doesn't feel like we've moved out of winter. My goodness.
What do you want?
Up in the garden, frost draws lace on leftover leaves where secret egg sacs hang, waiting for the warm to return. We say goodbye and spread the winter blankets. Down in the dirt, beetles burrow, ants scurry home, earthworms curl tight in the dark. Can you guys hear Flicka? She's making so much noise.
You need to go out.
She's being very silly
Outside. Let's go outside.
and disrupting the Read Aloud. That's okay. Look at the earthworm curled up. So what is that earthworm doing, I wonder, for the winter? Is he hibernating? Is that what an earthworm does? When Grandpa calls us in for soup, an autumn moon is rising. Up in the garden, dry corn stalks tremble and the wind smells like winter. But the long ripe days of summer still rest in the garden beds. The ladybugs and bumblebees, earthworms and ants are hunkered down hiding, biding their time. If they're biding their time, that means they're waiting, right? There's the beautiful moon, the harvest moon. Looks like someone left their little shovel. And here are the folks on the porch. So the ladybugs and bumblebees, earthworms and ants are hunkered down hiding, biding their time, dreaming of sunshine and blossoms and sprouts. Under the bare arms of trees and the blanketing snow, a whole new garden sleeps down in the dirt. Isn't that interesting to think about the garden sleeping under the dirt? But I guess that's true, right? Look at that. And that's the end of our story. Up in the garden and down in the dirt. So I have a couple of writing ideas for you. I have 2 challenges. And I don't know, it's going to depend on if you feel like you want to go outside today or if you want to stay inside. So I'm going to give you both challenges. So my outside challenge is a science writing challenge. And what I'm going to suggest is that you pick a space in your yard or in a park. Well, probably in your yard if you have a yard space. If you don't have a yard space, that's okay. You can do the inside challenge. So pick a little square of ground. It could be any place outside that you can go and sit and watch. And your job is to look very, very carefully. And what I would say to you is to mark that space on the ground, maybe with a little string and some sticks. Maybe you have some, I know some families might have the special spray that you use, like a colored spray to outline things outside if you're doing construction. But mark that little space, and that's going to be the space that you're going to watch. And you're going to go out and you're going to observe it over the course of time. So this would be like an ongoing challenge, something you could do every day. You could do it every other day. You can decide when you want to do it. And you're going to draw a picture of what you see. So you're going to be looking closely and you're going to be writing like a scientist. So you need to really look carefully, draw all the details you see, and then scientists, when they draw, they label their drawings. So you're going to label what you see, and then you could challenge yourself to write a sentence. Your sentence might start like this. It might start, "Today I saw." Or you might write, "I noticed that." And remember, noticed is a very big word. So for noticed, you might clap that word out. Noticed. And you might write sounds for each part. Write down the sounds you hear. Get the beginning sound and the ending sound of each part. Try to remember your vowels, right? So that's challenge number 1. And it could go over the course of time. Okay? My second challenge for friends who maybe don't have an outside space that they can observe, or maybe friends who today don't want to start this job, your second challenge is to think about the animals that you know about, animals that maybe we've talked about in school, animals that you know about from reading books at home, and make a list of some nocturnal animals. Nocturnal, remember the nocturnal animals are animals that come out at night and do their jobs at night. Okay? See if you can make a list of nocturnal animals. I can think of a bunch. So those are your challenges, your writing challenges. And if you decide to do your writing challenge, if you choose to do a writing challenge, maybe you can post that here. Or I know some friends like to send an email with some of their challenges that they've been doing, some of their learning. So it's up to you, my friends. So for now, I'm going to sign off, and I will post this up on my YouTube page for families to enjoy who are not on Facebook. And I hope to see many of you at our Fun with Friends later today. So thanks for joining. I'll see you soon.